Now that I've used the press a few times, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the process and I'm going to show you things that I've learned. So I take a few pieces of chipboard and I lay it on the bottom against the front door. This way the notepads glue to the chipboard and not the bottom of the press. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my first stack and I'm going to place it against the wall and the front door to make sure everything is nice and even. And then I'll go ahead and do the second stack as well. They have to be even because the bar that goes on top needs to be nice and flat to give it enough pressure to do the glue. So now I'm going to put the bar on. Now I want to make sure that the bar doesn't go flat against the front door so it doesn't glue to the notepads itself. But you need to make sure it's far enough up that it's going to be tight enough to bind the notepads. So now this top bar needs to drop, but there's a little trick to it. There's that black washer. It might not be called a washer, but there's that black piece there. It needs to go around the square piece. So if you have one of these and you're trying to screw it in and you're realizing it's not working, that black piece has to be around it, and that's something I learned very quickly at the beginning. I thought I was going to have to return it because it was messed up, but no, it just wasn't put together properly. Oops. So anyway, you're going to make sure you get that part down low, and then you have to tighten these screws up top to make sure that everything is nice and tight. You have to make sure it's tight so that when you glue them together, they will bind and they will not fall apart. It is not hard to do, but I like to go back and forth with them. So I'll do one and then I'll go to the other and then I'll just go back and forth until they're nice and tight. And then you're going to flip the machine around here, and then you're going to go ahead and take the front door off, and then it is ready for gluing. I always run my finger along each notepad just to make sure everything feels very in line and nothing is sticking out. So then I'm going to glue it, but I'm not going to show that process because we're just showing the press. So it's done gluing. Woohoo! So now you're going to go ahead and unscrew the sides and you're going to lift it up and then screw it in so that they stay above you and they aren't falling down on you. Then the top bar comes off and it is not glued to the notepad, so yay for that. That was something I learned after the first time that I did it. I did not like it gluing to the press itself. So you can see it's glued to the chipboard, but that is not a big deal because you just take your little X-Acto knife and you are able to lift up and easily slice it off instead of having to deal with it on the actual press itself. The nice thing about using this chipboard is I'll be able to just slice off that little bit and I'll be able to reuse this for a very long time.